This is Truth Talkin Thursday. Jim, Jane, and we're off. So, this past Sunday was Father's Day, and I know that in the past we've had some discussions about fathers, Jim, and I know that we come at things from a little different angle in some ways when it comes to fathers, and I would really like to try hard to keep this on a proper note.
Civil,
because actually this Father's Day, I was drawn more thinking about, I guess, of my dad, and his father, and my mom's father, and I guess the men in my life that I grew up with and was used to. And I was thinking what a wonderful blessing it is to be able to look back so fondly with so many good memories and have such a great deal of respect and admiration for those men.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a lot of people that do not have that.
Lots and lots.
And so I feel very, very blessed.
Oh, good. Yeah, good for you. It's nice that you're on that side of the coin. I feel safer.
You were not expecting that.
I feel safer. No, it's a shame that more young men don't have that experience from their kids, or even are able to give it to their own fathers.
From the discussions that we've had, I feel like you would fall into that category in my mind. That I feel like you're a very good father. Like I can see how your daughter turns to you, and you have a good relationship with your son, and you spend time with them, and I think that is proof that you did the work when they were little. And I often said that if you don't put the work in when the kids are young, you will not have the relationship when they're older.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and thank you for that. It's true. You truly make, and it's. I was going to use the word sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. It's a privilege and an honor, actually, and to be a parent. In my case, to be a father to my kids. Folks just don't get a chance like that all the time to be that person in somebody else's life. I mean, it's such an awesome responsibility to have. You actually, I mean, I can remember when both my kids were born, and they were just little things. I mean, it's like, oh my goodness, what the hell am I doing with this? What am I supposed to do with it now?
Yeah.
It's going to poop
I'm
all
gonna
over
break
me.
it.
I'm going to break it.
Yeah.
And to have the responsibility of shaping and being responsible for what that kid grows up, who he grows up to be or she, and all that kind of thing. I mean, to shape another human being's life is a privilege beyond anything else for me. And
so, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What was your biggest aha moment as a parent?
Oh gosh.
Would there have been something that happened with either your son or your daughter that really made a big difference in how you parented?
I think probably just because of my own life and lifestyle and how my life went, my biggest aha moment was, or certainly one of them was, when I realized, because of my failing relationship, I realized that I could lose them.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so, did you do
just
something different then at that point?
Well, I sharpened up in a hurry, but I recognized the opportunity that was slipping away from me. I mean, it's like you don't know what you're losing or what you've got until it's gone, right? Or you don't know. Oh my goodness! If I had known I was going to like this, I wouldn't have done that.
Right. Yep.
And
yep.
it's a very similar feeling, only magnified about 10 times.
Yes.
I could end up with and have no. And have no sort of progeny in the world. I mean, I would totally be by myself, completely and totally, and I just wasn't prepared to have that happen. So
were there things? I was going to say was there things, but I believe the proper English would say what?
Yep.
Were there things even if it's one, is there one thing that as a father you would say is a definite have to as a parent?
A definite
experience? From a dad to his kid. Or doesn't have to be an experience. It could be a way of thinking. It could be something you offer your children. It could be a thought process. It could be a lesson. It could be... Is there one thing that you would say all dads really should blah blah blah?
Yes.
Do you have something?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the very first thing that came to my mind when you mentioned that, for me, what that was, it was. How do I explain this now? For me, what it was the very first time I sat my kids down, and I did this as it happened over at separate times. So, the very first time that I had, I looked in my daughter's face. I looked in her eyes and I told her exactly what she meant to me.
But I feel that I have to force myself sometimes. And it's not that I don't feel, but I love you aren't words to just throw out there like, can you pass the ketchup? They mean something to me.
They're serious words.
But I think that everybody needs to hear that.
You hope that you will hear that.
Yes.
There's a heart-to-heart that comes, that you know is coming as a father at some point. I mean, you've got to come clean with all the crap that happened and all the things that happened and all this. At some point, there's a point of honesty that needs to be made.
Yes.
And you don't know when, and you don't know where, you don't know what the circumstances are, but you know that it's going to happen.
Yes.
And so my time came with my son, and it was about how we had separated from one another. Basically, there's a period of 7 years where he and I never said a word to each other. Not one word. I knew that the onus was on me to I don't know whether make it right was the word I would use, but the onus was on me to say what needed to be said. He and I were in my car together, and we were alone at the time, and I pulled in the driveway, turned the car off, and I just turned in my seat and I said, I got something I need to say to you. And I hope that you'll give me enough time to say the way I need to say it. It goes like this. Yeah. So I told him, what happened at that point in time, and what that was. I wanted to know what that was like for him, and I wanted to know how things have been for him since, and I just wanted to know what it was like living in his skin, because I was greatly responsible for how that went for him. Mm-hmm. And he told me what that was like for him, and at the end of it, he said, through all of it, and I'm paraphrasing here, but through all of it, it never changed how I felt about you as my father. And I said, well, I'm not looking for kudos here, but I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And he looked at me and he said, that was a good thing. And I said, oh, good.
Glad to hear that,
And we had a chuckle about all that kind of stuff. But
parenting on any level, whether you're a mother, a father, whether you're single as a parent or your partner is with you, it's hard. They don't come out with a rule book. Each child is different. And, it's a learning experience. And as Jim said, we learn more from them, it seems, than they learn from us. Oh, yeah. And it's a remarkable experience. It's something that I have enjoyed watching my kids grow up, becoming who they are. That's been a real thrill for me to watch. I'm so thankful to be able to look back and have so many role models, and even now at this point, to have people like Jim and a lot of my friends and family around me that I can talk to and again learn and grow from. I think that's so important. Yeah. When you find people that kind of share your way of thinking and you can converse with them.
Yeah. And as much as I know of you, Isn't it interesting? But all the way through your life, you always made the right decisions at the right time about the biggest issues.
I do love them, and they appear to love me, and I guess that's really all that matters. The bottom line is, it's great when you can love your kids, and when your kids love you back as parents.
Yeah, and you made it this far.
Exactly. So I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, wish everybody, I know it's past, but I hope you had if you're a dad, I hope you had a amazing Father's Day. And I'm sure if you did, that's a testimony that your kids are very, very happy with the father that they have. So, wishing you all the best, and
well said.
Have a great week.
Well said. I would double that up, sort of thing. Thanks for stopping by.